Hi everybody. I know it's been a while since I've posted anything on YouTube, and that is not intentional. It's just life has a way of kicking up. And the last time I think I did a video was my podcast with my RV buddy, Kirsten. And since then, a lot of things have happened. And if you can remember, our last broadcast was about health challenges on the road and so on and so forth. Well, mine have not stopped. So I figure I'll come on and just kind of give you an update of what's been going on. As you can see, I've been working as a Bible worker, and that has its own challenges because when you're dealing with people in the community, everybody doesn't see a reason for church or God or religion or all that. You know, sometimes they feel like once they get their lives together, then that's something that they would consider, right? You know, so it's not an easy job. And so it takes sometimes driving all day, going to different locations, seeing different people, in and out of the car, walking a lot. And my leg was like not getting better. You guys remember I got hurt back in like the beginning of March. It was like March 7th. And I am almost 3 months in, and I am still swelling. My ankle's still hurting. I could walk on it, but it just wasn't getting better. So my sister's like, that's more than a sprain. You need to go get that checked out. Everybody's been telling me that for weeks. So finally Saturday, I had on some shoes and it just looked like a grapefruit. It was like two baseballs on the side of my ankle, and my whole my leg, the bottom half of my leg starts to swell. So it looks like it is double the size of my other leg. Well, not double. It was bigger. Let's just put it that way. So I decided to go to the emergency room, and so I go, and they are running all these tests and they're doing all these things. Come to find out, y'all, my D-dimer, which is a blood test that they take when they are testing for blood clots, is like 0.79, and you can only have 0.59. So they said, okay, we think you have a blood clot in your leg, and that's why your leg itself is swelling. So they did the x-ray and they're like, okay, I'm looking at it and it is more than a sprain. Looks like you got fractured and torn ligaments and a broken bone that's floating around in your foot. And I'm like, okay, are y'all serious? And they're like, yeah. And it's not something we could have saw on the x-ray at the time of your injury. It was something that, you know, you have to wait a little while and it materialized. So needless to say, I'm on taking some Eliquis now for the blood clot that they're trying to see what's going on. I'm on my way right now as we speak to an ultrasound, a Doppler ultrasound of my leg, so they can see what's going on with that. And then I go see an orthopedic surgeon on Wednesday so I can find out about my ankle, the original problem. And so with work and trying to work 2 jobs and dealing with a health crisis as far as my ankle and stuff is concerned, sometimes you're out here and you are trying to win souls for Christ, and then you find yourself in the need of prayer, dealing with stuff you didn't even really know you were dealing with. So at that point, I was ready to feel sorry for myself. But since I've been working in this position, I've learned to kind of shift my focus. So that's what I'm sharing with you now. The first day I found out, I was all tears because I know about blood clots, and my mom has those. I've been dealing with that for many, many years within folks in my family. So I knew that was an issue, and it's something you can die from. So it's like a culture shock, because I was hoping my ER visit would be like, oh, you're just on it too much. Stay off of it. Ice it. It'll go down. You'll be fine. I wasn't expecting all this extra stuff. So immediately you start feeling a little overwhelmed and the tears start. And then you tell yourself, oh my goodness, now what? So I get the medicine, and the medicine's $300 for a 7-day supply. And I'm like, Lord, I don't have $300. Right? And so you're all these things are happening, and you start feeling sorry for yourself. And I don't have any insurance at the moment, because they don't offer you that work camping, and I'm not old enough to be receiving like Medicare and all that kind of stuff. So I'm thinking to myself, all this stuff is rushing through my mind. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to figure all this out? And then I say, Lord, you called me here because if I had my way, I'd be somewhere across country hiking through somebody's desert. But you asked me to stay here and work for you this summer. Help me to trust you through this, because I don't understand. So I get the next morning, I call the pharmacy and they're like, we didn't get your prescription. I call the hospital. They're like, yes, they did. They absolutely did get your prescription, because I'm looking at it. So I call back to the hospital and I call back to the pharmacy. I tell them what they said, and they're like, lady, we're in the business of filling prescriptions. So if it was here, we'd do it. So I call back to the hospital, and this is how I knew the Lord was in the plans, because I got a new person on the phone. The other girl, she just wasn't interested in helping me. It's like, so I got a new lady on the phone, and I'm like, I know I need this medicine, but it costs so much, and they claim they haven't got it. I just don't know what to do. I'm feeling overwhelmed. She's like, well, you can get the medicine for free. And I'm like, but I need to take it now. She was like, you could do a trial. And I'm like, a trial? Don't I have to wait for it to come in the mail? I was like, I got a scan. I got this blood. She said, no. And she walked me through what I needed to do, the number I needed to call, what I needed to tell them. And I did that, and I called the company, and they gave me a code over the phone, and I got my medicine for free. And I was like, praise the Lord. So one thing you can do in the road, if you're having a crisis like me, talk to people. The Lord just came through. Then when I got my appointment for the scan, the lady booked it an hour and a half away from where I was, where I am. And I had to call 7:30 this morning, like be the first person, like, hey, I need this scan, but I can't drive almost 2 hours to go get it. And the lady put me on hold, and she said, okay, I got somewhere closer today, because before it was like a couple days out. She's like, today I got an override, and they're going to see you today. So I was like, okay, Lord, thank you so much. So I got the medicine, I got the appointment. But what about the ortho? I don't have any insurance. What orthopedic surgeon is going to see me? And so the Holy Spirit say, make the call anyway. So I called the doctor, and they're like, okay, we can see you on Wednesday. And I'm like, but okay, so fun fact, I don't have any insurance. How does this work? They say, well, we'll see you without insurance. You just pay a $40 copay for this appointment. And I was like, okay, I will be there. So through all these little challenges and scares and hiccups, I'm just here to tell you, God is faithful, and he comes through in ways that we can't even imagine, especially when you're just feeling overwhelmed, right? And so as much as I want to be out traveling and doing stuff and bringing you guys new content, which we will, because we're going on a long weekend for my birthday, and we'll be in Michigan, I'll be able to bring you something then. So just hang in there with me. But I kind of want to just come on and tell you guys what life has been looking like for me. And it does kind of depress you, because it's like, I'm not 100%. I'm still hobbling around. I got an even bigger boot on my leg. So let me show you. An even bigger boot than I had before, because they gave me like that little flimsy air cast, and the lady was like, no, you should have got this kind of cast from the start, and fluids building up and all this stuff. So it's just been an adventure of a different kind. But here at Finding Erica, I'm finding that I can have faith even through my trials. And even though sometimes I don't know how things are going to work out, I can trust that God has my back. I'm working for him. And I told him that, Lord, you have a plan for me. And I can't do that stressing and worrying about this other stuff. So I need your help. And I had to kind of give it to him and just do what I can. And he opened doors as I walked through them. So I know this is not really RV stuff, but some of you are like family. Like, you follow me no matter what I put on here, no matter where I'm going, no matter where I'm traveling. And I'm giving you an update because I feel like I owe you, because I've been absent and I've been silent, and I just didn't want to come on here and do another video from my couch. But the truth is, life does happen on the road. Medical emergencies do happen, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to stress over it. I'm just going to keep moving forward. And so thank you for your prayers. I'll come on later and let you know what's going on and keep you caught up. And hopefully we'll be able to get back on the road and get some stuff done. We're trying to get through this one little hurdle, and hopefully we'll have some great news, and we'll be able to pull out of here on June, headed to Michigan for a 4-day long weekend, and bring you some video in a new place and some new activities. So stay with me, and thank you guys so much for just being who you are, and being so supportive. So you never know where I may end up. Saturday, I was in the emergency room, and now I'm headed back to the doctor. So be praying for me, and I will come on live and let you know what happened. Bye for now.